I'm Johnny Lieberman, and you're watching LNP. What does LNP stand for?
Late Night Play
Oh,
Set.
yeah, that's right. I've been on there. Yeah, good show. You should like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Devin, you gonna buy a Beamer? How's it going? Great. You too. Look, I'm talking to you and I'm missing the whole thing here. We'll call it growing pains. Yep. We've got to figure it out. How was that for timing?
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Oh, there's a great energy here. Welcome back. Welcome back. Give me a second to do the stuff. Yes, the beard is still here. We'll talk about that too. Put my coffee down at my pen. All right, now that I'm done narrating my life, welcome back. Hello, everybody. Tonight it's Tuesday, January 21st. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 21st, 2025. We are back in the Late Night Playset. My name is Jay Ryan, and we'll be introducing you to someone else who is in the studio with me this evening as well, and will be for the foreseeable future. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah, genuinely, the beard is still here. I know we talked about it with Phil about maybe I would cut it off this week, and I have not done so. And there's no reason for it. I'm not on strike. I don't particularly like it. It's not that, but it is here. And every day I go to do it, I go, let's see how it looks tomorrow. That's the truth. Let's see. So we're trying out new stuff in the studio. I think we told you that the last couple of days. Tonight we are going to be talking about ACH and GVBC. What's going on? Is the road open? Road closed? It's closed right now. We'll see if it's open on Friday. We do have a new producer who I just keep cutting to over there. I think some of you know her. We'll be talking to her in a little bit. We're going to do, I'm still working on my ums and ahs, trying to whittle those out little by little. And the road trip, the big Grand Tour USA road trip. What do we call it? USA GT2. It was kind of a Nicole tribute tour for me. That was my motivation. But it was 10 weeks. So I do not imagine we'll get to all of that this evening. I'm thinking if we can get from LA to Florida, that was like the first week, I would be happy. I would be happy if we can deal with that tonight. Also, I forgot to pull up my Instagram, but maybe we'll figure out something at some point. The fires in Malibu, in Palisades, in Altadena, all over LA, really. It's not done. The fires are over for the most part, although I shouldn't say that. They small ones keep popping up, but they just hammer them out real quick. But the impact is not left us. The friends who lost their homes are still homeless. The cars that we all used to see every week are no more. There's a lot to this. I have a feeling it's going to take a long while, like any natural disaster. This isn't one of those spring back, build it over the weekend and pop back next week. This is going to be a long while. So the air in LA, while clearing up, quality-wise, is very heavy, very, very heavy. And I don't know anyone who doesn't feel it.
And the quality is actually not good.
And the air quality is also not good. All right, so don't breathe it.
Can't tell you what's in it.
I did actually just walk outside and say what a lovely sunset it was going to be, and it was clearly because of the particulate in the air. So that's still going on, and here's an interesting thing. I'd like to talk about a friend of ours, longtime friend of the show, someone Nicole thought a great deal about, and someone that's has been close to us during a few situations in our life, and that's Susie from Malibu. You probably remember her as the lady behind the counter from the old days when it was whatever it used to be. Now that it's Scott's Malibu Market, she has moved over to the shop next door. But to the Malibu community, she's sort of a staple. She's an institution. She's been there for decades. She's been there forever. Everyone knows her. And she's one of the people that lost their homes in the Palisades fire. She has some very cool cars. People know the pink truck that's parked out front and the old Land Rover. And she also has a 911, an air-cooled 911. And maybe people may not know about that one too much, but it's got a bit of a cool heritage. It was Seinfeld's car, I think, pretty sure, and then it was Spike's car for sure, and then now it's Susie's car. So these cars survived, but I'm telling you this in case you see me rolling around in something different in the next few days. I'm going to go pick up her 911 and store it for her for a little bit here because I have a space.
Does it come with the dog?
No, I wish it came with Emmy the dog. You probably know her golden retrievers. That's how most people would know her. She always had the dogs. That's a good point. Anyway, so I guess I'll be a temporary 2 Porsche household. I said, I can keep it for you if you want. She's like, no, drive it. It needs to put miles on. I was like, all right, okay.
Hold my arm.
I forget what year it is, but it's a G-body Targa, either an SC or a 3.2. I can't remember. But beautiful car. So I'll be helping Susie out. The reason I'm bringing this up though is there's a GoFundMe going on for Susie. So we'll put it in the the thing at the bottom of the of the deal. Old guy coming through. We'll put it on YouTube and then you can click on it for the internet. I don't know how it works. Let's see. Speaking of which, Scott Kelly. Hi Jay. Scott Kelly, when are you going to come join us in here? Scott Kelly hosts a Porsche podcast that I can't remember the name of right now. That's not what it says there. It says, I can't read what that says. It's too small. Anyway, Scott Kelly, I think it's called Ren Sport Podcast or Ren Speed Podcast. Anyway, really, really nice guy. And Scott, congratulations. Scott was just voted into the board of the Los Angeles chapter of the PCA. He's now the vice president.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good job.
Congratulations. Everybody knows Scott Kelly if you're in LA. Really nice guy.
There's an astronaut called Scott Kelly, and he's messing up my search here.
Oh, that's him. Yeah, it's astronaut Scott Kelly. We are trying things out, and we've never needed more audience participation, I guess. But we kind of really need your advice and your tips because the show is gonna change. It's too much Jay. Too much Jay. Shh! Don't tell anyone. It's way too much Jay. Good news. Jay knows it. And we want to balance it out a little bit with more of the community and more ways to interact with the audience and things like that. So if you have any ideas, whether it's, I hate if it's stuff other shows do. I always hate that, but it's okay if it is, if it's something like that. Or if you just have an idea for how you want to interact with either me or someone on the show in our little family of show that we're building here. because you got Fanboy Mike up in Canada.
Fanboy Mike.
I don't think he's going to join us tonight because he had a prior obligation. If it ends early, he may jump on at the end, but I don't see it happening. But we got Fanboy Mike in Canada. You got your producer Ariel over there, who will be here from now on, contributing in many ways. Also, I think that's her in the comments here. If you see Birds and Beasts Don't FCK with Ariel, that's her. So feel free to interact with her. She's authorized.
I'm authorized. I did find Scott Kelly's podcast. It's Ren Street Podcast.
Ren Street
Ren Street
Podcasts. Yeah, Ren Street. I said Ren Sport, Ren Speed.
Ren Street.
It's nice to have someone else in the, just energetically, it's nice to have someone else here. I'm saying that to the new producer, but I'm also saying it to you at home. The lack of Nicole is really like a hard one for me, obviously, right? Oh, my wife died. When it comes to the show, it's specific because, like, I don't want to say this every single episode, but I'm going to run through it for a while here, I guess. This was all kind of her. It really was. I got some of my demons out and apologized to David Letterman for my wrongdoings as a little kid. But like, so the show has served its purpose, right? David Letterman heard me say I'm sorry, and Nicole is no longer with us. So for me to just be here doing this, I guess I would go to this every single time. So it's nice to have another person in here. Another person typing and doing other things. It makes me feel good. It's active.
We already have a request for more pretzels.
More pretzels?
Maybe get some pretzel sticks and throw some pretzel sticks.
Oh. Well, we definitely can still throw stuff. I don't think that's what they meant, though, is it?
No, it's not, but that's how I'm bringing it in.
Well, let's find out what they meant. More pretzels. I love pretzels, but when I hear pretzels, because I'm a child of the 80s and 90s, I go to Seinfeld and I think that these pretzels are making me thirsty. But God, I love pretzels. Did somebody send us some pretzels? Is that a hint at a plug? I don't know. She's looking it up. Oh, this is cool. I like your camera. I like that I can cut to you.
I have to be on it at all times.
No, it's good. It's good. Ignore that camera. Pretend that's not there. Unless you want to deliver to it. You know what I mean? Otherwise, it's just me over here.
Yeah.
And then if we really need you, here, look, hey, we got Skycam over here, but I could
Skycam.
Hello, I forgot. Yes, hello, Skycam.
Hello.
I could also easily manipulate Sky. Hang on, I bet I could get it with one of these.
There we go. No big deal. I can get in the sky cam.
I think you are. It's hard for me to see, but I think it's just.
I have one little piece of me that's not black.
Oh, this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun. The neighbors already think I've straight up moved on because she's been here for some meetings and stuff ahead of time, so that she's just coming and going. Yeah, and we're wheeling out, the gig bag, the suitcase with all the, her computer and stuff in it. And I'm helping her out to the car, and it totally looks like, oh, well, I guess he's fine.
He's fine.
Little do they know that every time you come over, I cry about my dead wife. By the way, I don't know if I told you my wife died. Play that card a lot.
Oh my God.
Oh, you didn't hear?
Are you serious?
Yes.
Ooh, awkward. I feel weird about it.
I'm not okay.
I don't know what to do or say. I feel uncomfortable with this knowledge. I have to be precious with you.
Hand pink waving. That's how you get conjunctivitis, Tom. Be careful. You're already. Oh, look at this. So I don't need to do this anymore as much.
Show them.
Hello, Dan. Fan suggestion. Oh, see, it's from Don Giller. Yeah. So now it makes sense.
Don have a thing with pretzels?
No, but he's inside. Don Giller's as inside as it gets.
Great.
Don Giller can see through everything I'm saying. Oh, I'm glad he's here. Is it because Mike's not here? Is that why you're here? You rarely see them in the same room at the same time.
Pretzels are always funnier in Spanish.
This is good. I'm just reading what you guys all say. This is hilarious. This is good. Shumai? I was about to comment, those pretzels are making me thirsty. Shumai the cat.
Ooh, I want to see that cat.
Oh, I missed you too, Sunday. I hope you're okay. I told everybody about our text exchange and how like you're a stand-up guy. If you say you're going to go to something, like you show up. You're not the I woke up and I didn't want to go kind of guy. So I told everybody about your text, and I'm just going to share it here on the show. I hope you don't mind. His text was rough night, not going to make it. After literally when we were going to bed, he was like, "Hey, is it still on tomorrow? I'll see you there." Whatever. I said, "Yeah, absolutely." And then in the morning, whatever, rough night, not going to make it. I explained to everybody we were with, you don't drink and you don't fight with your wife. Like a rough night for you must be health related. Yeah. So I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay. There's TMI, but there's a stomach bug going around. I'm very happy to have not gotten it. I hear from a lot of friends there's a stomach bug going around. I also miss GVBC and can't wait to get the band back together. Totally agree. The good news about the band, we'll get to that one in a second, is Sundays we're still meeting over in Malibu. So you can do that. Scott's is open for business, and he is grateful for anyone who comes in because it's dead over there. You have to access it from the north. Obviously, you can't get up PCH. But I'm looking at all my gestures here with a kung fu grip. And or like from Malibu Canyon, Las Virgenes, and but he's happy to have us. So I don't know if GVBC is not on the hill again Friday, which is very possible. I think we call it for Malibu. We just say rally the troops, get as many people as we can over there because the parking lot was empty, and we ended up staying just our small little group. It was so nice, quiet, and empty. You know how we usually get chased out at like. Yeah. 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock really, and then 11 o'clock is the buzz of all the people and the loud cars and everything, and then just lots and lots of crowds. We were there till 2, sitting over in that little pagoda over in the Malibu Village parking lot. Lovely, so quiet, listening to the birds. It was nice to be so peaceful, but Phil didn't come. Phil didn't come because his feeling for it's just too soon. He wasn't ready to sit there and enjoy it when so many people around were hurting. And I understood that, and then I shared that also with the group, and they were like, totally get it. Yeah. Totally get it.
And also, all of these businesses are hurting, and so, Scott's is a business. He has to survive. He needs customers. Everybody does. And a lot of these restaurants especially, they've been, I don't know if Scott has been involved in anything, but a lot of restaurants have been donating and making food and sending food and doing all this and not really taking in a lot of customers over the last couple of weeks. And you just
correct. They're only sending product out for the firefighters and stuff. So he's one of those people who was there all week making sandwiches. They'd go in the morning at normal time, and then they'd stay till like noon, and they'd drive around and give all the stuff that they made to the responders. Like money. The best possible way you could, ingratiate yourself into the community. But you're right, it all costs money.
Supporting businesses that have been supporting others is really important right now, especially restaurants. One bad week and you're done. So go to Scott's or any of your local restaurants that have been supporting people. This is it's rough. Everybody needs it right now, regardless of what their specific situation is. Businesses. Everybody's hurting. We're all hurting in different ways.
And your camera angle isn't hurting over here. If you notice,
Hi.
I'm working on it. We'll find it.
This is fun.
We'll figure it out.
Hi, everyone. Okay. I'm going to go to some YouTube comments here.
Okay.
Well, you're a zhuzhin. Aurora Photo says, good to hear you laugh. Oh, that's beautiful.
She was talking to you, I think.
No, I think that's you.
Okay.
It's good to hear you laugh. Sir.
Thank you.
Otto Kennel says, all good. My celiac kept me all night and had GERD. Oh,
that's the worst.
Drama.
I truly had a feeling that's what it was.
All caps, too. He wrote it in all caps. The drama. And trouble breathing. No. Which ended up putting me in a panic attack.
Yeah.
Paul. Finally woke Jennifer up. She was awesome. And Jennifer is awesome. We love you. We love your wife. Love it all.
This is when you know your friends so well. Like our friends are our family.
100%.
This is when you know somebody so well.
Yeah.
They say only a few words, and you're like,
thumbs up.
And I know what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know the thing.
This beard is too much. I'm looking every time I see it out of the corner of my eye. If I look directly at the screen, it's not terrible. But every time I see it out of the corner of my eye, I just...
It's getting woolly. It's getting woolly.
Woolly? At
In
least.
a good way, yeah.
Oh, is that a good thing?
Yeah, why not?
I don't know.
We got one more on here I'll read. Give you a second up there.
Okay.
We got Dan. He says, I'm seeing the driving hand motions and I'm thinking the market requires a Rockford J turn to get there.
Oh, I know how to do that. I know that. Not just because I'm Jay. I mean, I know exactly what he means, and I know how to do that. When I was a kid, I took a stunt driving school. I took a line. It doesn't matter. Lime Rock Park, Skip Barber. I'm just cutting to the chase here. He also used to do a car control clinic and a stunt driving school. So I learned all those e-brake turns and the backwards J turn and all of that stuff at a very early age in Dodge Neons. So then
Dodge Neon.
I know, which was great and easy because then I applied the same handbrake logic to all of my friends who had Honda Civics and Accords and everything.
Hell yeah.
And we all were doing the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Driving around like fools.
I remember the heyday of the Civics and the Accords and
Yeah,
all that.
that's
souped
it.
up Civies.
Child
Yeah.
in the 90s.
Yep, that's
That was
right.
it was if you had an Accord, it was generally a hand-me-down. If you had a Civic, it was either hand-me-down or it may have been purchased for
My
you.
first car was an Accord.
So was mine.
Yeah.
What year
It
was
a piece
yours?
of shit. 1987.
So was mine.
The shit broke down on
What
me.
did-
Four-door.
Oh, four-door.
It was blue.
So was mine.
Oh my god!
The darkish blue, not full dark blue. It
yeah,
was like
it wasn't
darker
full
than
dark
light blue.
It was probably the same damn car.
Well, no, mine was a hatchback. It was the two-door
Yours was way
hatchback.
cooler. I gotta see if I. Have
It wasn't
photos
cooler.
of that.
On paper, it sounds like it's an Acura
I mean,
Integra.
Okay. But a hatchback is cooler than a regular ass sedan.
And
arguably.
it was a manual. I wanted a manual.
Mine was a manual. My dad.
But it
drove
had
manual.
no options. It was DX. It had somebody previous had put a radio in it, but it
Yeah.
did not come with one. No air conditioning. Roll up windows.
Yeah.
Somebody, probably the person who put the Blaupunkt in it, put the you remember the glass pop-up sunroofs? I don't think they even
The what?
glass pop-up sunroof. It would be
Oh,
glass.
yeah,
but it
yeah.
wouldn't go anywhere. You could only just hinge
Like,
it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could take it out, I think, completely
Yeah.
if you wanted to. But that was dumb because
Yeah.
you're likely to break it.
That call.
That was such. I mean, I shouldn't say it was a piece of shit car because the truth is, me and my friends beat the shit out of it, and it actually took it. I mean, anything that
Yeah.
went wrong on it was kind of probably because of our tomfoolery.
I did not beat the shit out of mine. When I had a Civic, I kind of did. I did a lot of driving in that. That was like the next car that I had, I think. No, I had my aunt's Jeep Cherokee for a little while. That thing was dope. Really like that.
Yeah, that's why I had this. That's hilarious. Very parallel. That
Really?
was my dad's car, and when he died, I had both, so I sold the Accord. But I genuinely had the Jeep Cherokee.
Oh, man. What
1990 Jeep Cherokee Limited, gray,
Yeah.
with the
right.
gold wheels and
Yeah.
the gold pinstripe and all that shit.
We didn't have the gold. I don't remember what edition it was, but it was gray.
It's probably Laredo.
Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to dig
There were
in.
only a few, but man, I loved the Jeep Cherokee.
You know-
loved the
Yeah,
Jeep Cherokee.
yeah.
Still do.
I love
It
that
had those
car.
little wing windows that like old Porsches have and
Oh,
old VWs
yeah.
have. Loved that. My dad was a smoker, so I loved that.
What year was mine? Mine might have been like a 92 or something. But then my best friend, years and years later, that was her car. So that was like a fun little flashback. Like 10 years later, my best friend drove that car.
Oh man.
It was fun.
Your actual one? The same actual? No, same
But it was
kind.
the same make and model and color and everything. So it was very like,
That's how I get whenever an old car I used to have drives up to Breakfast Club. And I'm like, oh, you
Yeah.
get so nostalgic, like an old E30 or a 944 Turbo.
yeah.
Even the 3000 GT. Yes, I had a 3000 GT. I didn't know there was a shame that should come with that
Well,
statement until
learn.
years later, and then it turns out I guess there kind of is, but I still stand by it. I still really, really liked that car, even though I acknowledge it may not have been that great.
Listen, we love what we love, Jay, and that's okay.
I guess. Let's see here. Yeah, well, that's true. Oh, so you read these. So here I
Yeah.
go again.
I mean, give them their little shout outs, though.
All
Why
right.
not?
All right.
I love you guys. Welcome back. Venkman. Aw.
Oh, yeah, and GERD. Yeah, the GERD is bad. Gastro, I forget what it is. It's not intestinal. It's higher. It's the esophageal, I think. Gastroesophageal reflux disorder.
sounds
It's
terrible.
awful. Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
You
I
get
don't-
all the acids and everything are burbling in your throat. It's awful.
Yeah, and then your poor esophagus.
I had an old friend, an old colleague who had that, and he was out all the time because of it. It sounded horrible. You can't just take Tums or an antacid for it.
No.
It's actually generally comes from taking too much of that stuff. Oh, I see. So you do. I'm really behind here.
No, you're perfect.
Oh, look at you. Yeah, we miss you too, pal. How are you? How are things going out in Pasadena? You know, Sean Bishop, our friend who's been here many, many times, he and I, Ghostbusters, he's usually here to talk Ghostbusters, but we built the Ghostbusters car together. We built the DeLorean together from Back to the Future. And his house is in Pasadena, and the shop where we built some of that stuff is in Pasadena.
Damn.
And his house is okay. His neighborhood's okay, but
Thankfully.
I mean, anything in that area is way too close for comfort.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm already half an hour here. We blew through doing goddamn nothing. That's the problem.
We're doing a great job. You're doing a great job.
Really? All right.
Yes.
Thanks for keeping me on track here.
I got you.
All right, so welcome. Still have the beard. Cross that off.
Yeah, we did that.
Fires in Malibu. Susie, Porsche
Got that.
911. Got
See?
that out of the way.
Killing it.
Oh, I remember why I brought that up. I need to ride to Malibu tomorrow if anybody wants to take me in the morning. I got to go to Malibu. I don't need to ride back. Just there. ACH, GVBC. Okay, ACH and GVBC. Currently, because of the fires, Eaton Fire specifically, the Angeles National Forest is indeed closed. They have closed it, extended it, closed it, extended it. They've extended it again to whatever Friday is. But there's a chance that they may extend it again. It's a good chance, from what I'm being told, that they may extend it again. If they don't, we should be good. We should be good because it's Friday at 12 a.m., which means at 8 or 9 a.m. it's open. If they extend it, we're still locked out. If they extend it, we'll see you Sunday at Scott's in Malibu. And Steve Geldman says, "Hi Jay, welcome Ariel. Love the fact that you are back. Oh. Nicole's spirit and giggles will always be by your side when podcasting. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. I can't tell you how many times I'll say something stupid and then nobody will relax, so I'll go,
Get your snort on. You got to snort it out for her.
Yeah, and I do.
By the way, I was stuck trying to find a ghost emoji to give back to Sean and say we love you too, and it was taking me that long.
Do you not use the search? Once I found the search, I use that all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I've never done YouTube on the old iPhone.
Maybe there's not one on on YouTube.
No, there's not. Yeah, it's like it's all different emojis and it's all
So you can't search like you can in your text chat on your iPhone.
Oh, but I think I found a cute little weird ass cat, so I'm gonna put that in there. Oh, it's not a cat. It's like a time. It's a time. What are those things called?
I know it, but let's see if you can get it.
It's an hourglass.
There it is.
An hourglass. It's an hourglass that kind of looks like a cat because it's got little whiskers and big eyes. I don't know. YouTube is wild, y'all. YouTube is wild. Welcome. Dawn says, so introduce the new producer. Name, weight, favorite color, all that important stuff. Weight is not important, and let's not do that to women ever. That's your intro, babe.
Well, now he's got me curious. I don't care because I don't really know. Nicole was 140 pounds when we met, and she was under 100.
Oh, yeah.
Not just when she died. I mean, like,
for
the last few years, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she was bones for a long time, especially in those last few months. I remember giving her massages, and it was just,
her legs.
All bone.
Her legs for me, it was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Tiny. The atrophy. Yeah,
like
one more than the other.
Like the size of my wrist, almost. Like parts of my leg would be the size of hers.
Yep. Sad stuff. Don't get MS if you can avoid it. As I told you also last week, if you can avoid your spouse getting ill and dying, definitely do that too, because it sucks.
I'm going to write that down.
You don't generally have a choice in the matter, but That's another thing. Through this, it only describes the emojis, which is even more strange. Don Giller, I'm very, very open to your recommendations because we now will have the ability to actually change this show and grow this show. So that's the intention. Actually, maybe we'll just talk about it now. Ariel is here, and now that you have your own camera, I guess, too, we're really figuring this out. She's here to help. I think that she can bring a lot to this show. She is a producer in real life, so she knows how to do it. The intention would be to grow the audience, to grow what we do here. We want to make the family bigger. We want to have more people we know in and on the show and doing things on the show. We want to we want the show to we want to make a real business out of it. Like we need to pay our rent, both of us.
Yeah.
and we want this to do that, and we think it can. So with your help telling us what you want and what you think would be good, we hope to get there. And then we got Devin, Auto Journey, who I've yet to call upon, but is standing by, waiting for us to tell him, what we need help with.
Devin, our tech guy.
He was the one who helped in the past by doing all the YouTube segmenting at the bottom. All the little partitions of from this they're talking about cars, and from here to here they're talking about MS, and so on and so forth. And I think maybe he was doing some clips and cut downs for us, so we want to do that again, get that going, so that you don't have to just sit here and listen to me blather. I just realized it's 5:32 in the PM here on the West Coast. It's time to check in with the Instagram audience.
Let's go.
See if this is still set up, and if I remember how to do a live
Let's
from
see
last
how
week.
it works with me up and in here too. Up and in here too? I can't speak.
Let's see if this is good. And I need to share the screen first. Damn it. See, I knew there was something. And one thing first.
Little steps. By the way, all I can think of now is What We Do in the Shadows, which is a great show. Because you said What We Do Here, and all I could think of was What We Do in the Shadows.
Do people know what that is?
People know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what that is? Oh, it's the vampires. It's a
Oh, God, I
mockumentary
definitely don't
with
know.
oh my God, it's freaking hilarious. Shout out to the What We Do in the Shadows fans, wherever you are. You're somewhere.
Is that the one with the guy from...
There was the movie.
Give me
and
one
then they made a
second. Hang on.
series.
Hang on. There was a show with... shit, I lost it. He was also in Men in Black 3. Not possible. Jermaine?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one
He's
of the
very
characters.
talented. I'm sure it's very funny.
it's
It's not
Taika
my bag at all.
Waititi and
Nicole
Jermaine.
shut it down too. Kaz
Yeah.
Danbury tried to get us to watch it on the last road trip.
Yeah.
And she was like, nope.
Well, they're
nope,
both
we don't do
Kiwis,
vampires.
So
Nope.
I have a love for
Did
those
this?
guys.
This didn't go. Oh, jeez.
Oh, there it goes. I mean, I don't know how to do lives. I guess I could have told you because I'm looking at your Instagram.
Sorry, I know it's later than 5:30.
Let's see.
And I think. I can
Oh,
also-
Porsche. He's going live. Here we go. Oh, look, it's me. That's
Yeah.
fun. Okay.
It's you and my beard. Welcome to the Beard and Ariel show. There are people joining. I see you're here. That's good. Oh, there are actually people joining. It's always embarrassing when the only one in the room is in the room. Hi, everybody. We are trying to take suggestions for what this show should be, or if you have segment ideas. I guess in the future we should have a question for the Instagram people,
Yeah.
and then we'll
Submit
post it,
Q&As.
and then they can. Yeah, let's do that in the future. We're figuring this out. We don't know how to do any of this, but with your help.
We got a question with Newcombs and ACH. I'm typing back, but you might want to just say it out loud.
Okay.
Just how's Newcombs? So Newcombs ACH is closed.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is. It is closed. Still closed. Still closed till Friday, but it will potentially be extended. From what I've heard, it may be extended.
Got a lot of beard support up in here.
Really?
Yeah.
It's too much. You know what? The other thing, too, is it's totally unkept right now. Kept?
Unkept.
It's not, like I could probably shape this into something that someone that might be like better, but right now it's just sort of, like all I've done is a couple wispies, just cut them off with the...
like a weird, maybe like things coming out of each side, like a little loop-de-loop. I mean, you got an opportunity to be creative with your face.
Yeah, you don't know me at all, but we're gonna get there.
Oh, I know you wouldn't.
We're
but,
gonna get there.
Who would I be if I didn't suggest it?
I know you mean like topiaries and stuff like that. I know. Yeah. And then I'll go work at a tattoo shop or something. 'cause
I
that
mean, the
seems
day
like
I
where-
see flowers in Jay Ryan's beard is,
Well, you'll sooner see flowers in it than whatever you just mentioned.
well, yeah, I was saying cutting it into shapes. Yeah, I could see some flowers. Anyway, I'm just saying there's some creative possibility for that beard of yours if you're looking.
Well, we need content, right? Because we got to start a Patreon, so that's
Yeah.
going to need its own content.
That could be the Patreon content.
Yeah.
Y'all can vote. Patreon members can vote on what hairstyle, what beard style, as Jay keeps it and or shaves it. That could be up to y'all.
I mean, I need some grooming in general currently.
Sure.
And I'm aware of that. I just I guess I am on strike. I'm on grooming strike.
It works.
No reason
It
whatsoever,
works.
but I'm on grooming strike.
The man behind the beard.
Yeah. All right. Now it's time for me to actually see what these people say. So I will put on my aunt's reading glasses.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I dropped a bunch of people here. I'm sorry. Sorry for the typo, multitasking. Like how you graded the beard. Yes, I added it. Yes. Life, Indiana Jones. I go to him
Yeah.
every time. It's not the years, it's the mileage. There's a lot more gray lately. I'm okay with it, though. Who cares, really, right? Although I'm single again. Maybe people do care. I don't know. I'm not looking to meet anyone. Sorry to disappoint you. I'm not looking to meet anyone. If you came here to try to get a date, I can't see shit. Jesus. I look ridiculous with the glasses on, and I can't see shit without them.
Do you want me to read them to you?
Yeah.
All right. What did you get up to?
I don't know.
Let's see. We did that one. Like you had.
They probably
okay.
can't hear you, though.
We
That's the
got.
bummer. But you can see her.
You can see me. The man behind the beard. Good to see you back. Sorry for the typos. We got that. 997.2 PDK versus 991 question mark?
Well, it depends. Do you want the PDK? I mean, like, do you want to shift gears or not? I mean, I want to shift gears, so I like it. I mean, that's kind of, you know what I mean? Like, it's Tiptronic or PDK, PDK all day long, if that's the question. If it's a manual 9971, I go manual all day long. But you can also get a 9972 in manual, so I don't know. Depends on what you're looking for. If you're an automatic guy and you're asking tip or PDK, you don't need me to answer that. It's PDK all day long. Also, if you're into the PDK, I think the 9912 is a better car for you because it's really more of a modern car. The 9971 is still a bit of an old car. It still has old car stuff in it. It's not fully modern yet. And it really, with that direct injection motor in the 9972, it's a modern car. It starts every time. It idles exactly where it's just it's weird how different they are when they look so similar.
So there's no panic attacks.
Panic attacks?
Well, your car not starting, it's a pain in the ass.
Well,
When you
Yellow
gotta go
Car has
somewhere
never
and-
not started for us. I should say
Yeah.
that. I mean, Yellow Car's never left us stranded. It's whatever. It's been an incredibly reliable car. In fact, me and my dead wife's ashes, drove it all around the country, 13,000 miles, 10 weeks. It's now been to all 48 states, and the only service necessary when they put it on the lift the other day was an oil change.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Truly.
Yeah. Freaking rad. So, like, I mean more in the way it drives and responds and
Yeah.
how the systems work. It's
Yeah.
still not as modern. It's definitely still reliable. That's why we bought it. Otherwise, we would have
Well,
gotten an old
yeah.
air-cooled car, too, because they weren't expensive back then.
Yeah. Yeah, you needed something reliable for that phase.
I didn't-
This new phase you were coming into.
Correct. I couldn't have the car be in the service for a valve adjustment or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Needed to be in the garage and start every time. Okay. All right.
We
So
got a strong opinion, 997 manual, and that's it.
997 manual.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Point 1 or 2 was the question, I think, right?
Yeah. Oh. We got Zeke up in here. We also have a can't believe I sold my 75 914 to a 615 years ago. Ugh. For a 615 years ago. That's a bummer.
Ooh, yeah. Well, they were worth nothing. I
Yeah.
mean, $600 was probably you probably got some good money for it. They weren't worth anything.
You
Most
know-
people turned them into race cars, and if they didn't get that life, they were just rotting on a side yard someplace.
Barn cars.
They weren't even at the gas station on the corner because they weren't like worth money. Where I grew up, it was always 356s, usually with a cardboard thing in the windshield of $2,500 or whatever. And I'm making that number up. I don't remember exactly what it was, but cheap. And 911s.
Yeah.
Seemed like every gas station had a 911 parked out by the sign that was for sale, and they all looked like they needed work. None of them were perfect, but they were no money.
Yeah.
$1,500, $2,500.
Not
Crazy.
anymore.
No.
Not anymore.
No. All right, let's see. We did some stuff on the card here, even though I did. Oh, so in Instagram. So sorry. So thanks. Do we need anything else from the Instagram audience this evening?
I
Otherwise,
think that's
I'm gonna let them go.
Yeah. Now you can't find them for under 8K. We also have 993 Studio _act says, great to see you back.
Oh, thank you. It's great to see you.
Happy about that.
Thank you.
Got a little bit of YouTube activity. that we
Nice.
can-
I like this camera, except that it constantly reminds me of who isn't in this chair over
Yeah.
here. Because we didn't used to really show this side of the set.
Mhm.
I would like to say, production-wise, we've changed a lot of stuff in the studio. The microphones, while still by Telefunken, another RIP, Tony from Telefunken, rough year. We've changed how we use everything. So, like, we went back to a desk mic, television style. We went to a boom mic for the guests. So, hopefully, we're not fidgeting. I used to fidget a lot. The guests would fidget a bit. Hopefully, that's better. The camera angles are all different. And we've added, stuff like the Instagram cam over here, which is kind of fun.
Instacam.
All right. Love you, Instagram. Thank you so much. There's a link in the stories if you want to join the YouTube live. Love you. See you later.
Deuces.
Did we do it? We did it, right?
We did it.
Good.
We did it.
Okay.
Did it.
It's a lot of work. I don't know how I did this alone.
I don't know either, because I have 3 screens in front of me that I'm like, boop, 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 what's happening where? And the time is off on all 3 of them, too. Like, they're all on different timers, so...
I feel like you're actually keeping better track of things, though. Like, typically I will sort of let
Well,
things
because I'm not talking.
go.
I'm not performing. I'm just here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I ask that of men, too.
That's the whole weird thing. We got Matt Riddell in the house.
Oh, is he still in Canada?
Yeah, he's in Canada.
We talked about him the other day on the show, Phil and I.
Aw.
Me and Phil? Me and Phil. Phil and me.
Phil and I.
Phil and I.
Phil and
I
I,
talked
yeah.
about, yeah, you're right, Phil and I.
Or you could say, like, me and Phil went to blah, 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 but Phil and I talked
No, that
about-
wouldn't be. That would not be right. That would
I
because
thought
you wouldn't.
you can.
No.
There is a situation where you can use me and Phil.
Yeah, no, yeah. Only
Yeah.
if it would be if you would use me without Phil.
Oh, yeah. That's the rule of thumb.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I ever had it spelled out that way. I usually just say so-and-so and I.
And sometimes that's right, and sometimes it's wrong. Grammatic. I mean, who the fuck
Yeah.
cares anymore?
I'm
But
usually
when we
good
were
at
kids, and
I
there was
care.
a book that said this is right and this is wrong.
Listen, I care. Don't come at me with bad grammar. Although, there's lots of... I don't want to... It's not as black and white as that, because certain people have different types of education and different access, and that is very important to recognize, and also neurodiversity and blah, blah, blah. But for the most part, I like good grammar. Which may have been a bad sentence. I don't know. But it
I
makes
like
me
good
feel
grammar.
good.
Hilarious.
Anyway.
Weight was a joke. Except I stand by it. How much do you weigh? I'll ask.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell anybody. Y'all
really?
can bet on it. Y'all can...
Well, we
yeah.
can only bet on it if you'll eventually give us the answer.
Sure, I
Otherwise
have no shame about it. I don't give a fuck.
Oh.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I can curse on this show. I've been on this show before.
Oh, that's hilarious. Good rule. I say this with love. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
But yeah, it
She's
is a good rule of
scolding
thumb
in the
because
comments.
people have a lot of trauma around that. Also,
Yeah, I know. I agree. I agree. I agree, Don. She used to work at the Improv. Which one?
Tampa.
Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
So theoretically, she should get funny.
I do get funny.
And she's around funny people all the time. And I consider you kind of funny.
Who? Me?
Yeah.
I've been told I'm funny before.
You're probably one of the real fun, like when you're not trying to be funny.
Yeah.
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 Flight of the Conchords is exact. Wow, this
Yeah,
is
Flight of the
from
Conchords.
ages ago, but that is exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Couldn't think of it. Good job. Wow, man, Dan, I wish you were like in the Maddie, hi Maddie, in the Mike. I'm too old for this. There's too much shit going on in the box where
In the
Mike
box.
usually is, where fanboy Mike usually is.
Oh.
Really, this is just a Jay reads comment show. Aria reads them, and then Jay reads them
Yeah.
forever. Retro Cars Forever. Welcome back. Wishing you healing and good health. Same to you, Retro Cars Forever. I don't know if I know you or not. but I like your handle. Set still looks pretty awesome. Thanks. We're also opening to changing it. It may look a little different because of how we're shooting it, but I haven't actually changed the set itself. We did move things over just a little bit, like, because Nicole isn't here anymore, we don't need as much room. So like we moved stuff just a little bit. Not much so that you would really probably notice, because the room itself is tiny. How much could it move? But it may look a little different.
Inches matter.
That's right. From the sex coach over there, inches matter. Okay, Skip Plus. Hello, Skip Plus. Loved seeing the snow in your yard. That was cool. Skip Plus is in Connecticut.
Oh.
Well, you didn't. I mean, it's so nice to see you. I'm such a fan of yours, Skip Plus. It was neat to see you on this trip, because he was a director of shows that I used to do.
Oh, I love that.
Back when I was a kid. Or a young adult.
Yeah. I
was already out of high school and stuff, but it was like we were doing summer children's theater together. I was building sets and in the band and things like that. I've just always had utmost respect for him. I really liked how he did things. I felt like he treated kids like adults, which is why he got adult-like behavior out of his kids.
Yeah.
And he's an educator as well. He worked for the Wilton school system.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, good place for his person and his heart. But it was really neat for him to then be equally excited to see me, and more so even Yellow Car. It was really neat for him to see Yellow Car. He's like, it's like a celebrity. It's like meeting Herbie the Love Bug. And that was really cool for me.
Yeah.
Because I get to see Yellow Car every day.
Yeah. I mean, it is. Think about it. When kids see Yellow Car, kids want to take photos with Yellow Car because it's so damn cute, and then people from the internet recognize it. Like, it is. It's the you and Nicole version of a Herbie Hancock.
Herbie Hancock?
I mean, the fuck? I don't know.
So close, right up until the end. Yeah, I think that because Jay Ryan still says we and our.
Yeah.
Because I'm not used to saying me and mine. It's always been we and our. I have sort of transferred that over to the car. Mm-hmm. I say we are going to be someplace or whatever. So that helps personify an inanimate object further. Yeah.
But it also makes sense in moving through the grief of losing your wife and your partner who you had this car and this life with. Like, it's all connected, and it all makes sense. And I think it's helpful for other people too to have the we, because it is a we. Like, you three were a unit, and it was you, Nicole, and the car, and together y'all went everywhere together. It's beautiful.
When she died and then the clutch or something happened to the car and had to go in the shop for a month. It wasn't a month, it was only a couple of weeks thanks to TLG. But I was beside myself. I didn't want to leave the house. Mm-hmm. That was the darkest, I think, of my depression. It got pretty dark at other times, but solely because of the Nicole of it all. That felt like my whole family had been stripped away.
Yeah. Because you were alone.
I was alone. When? I tell you my wife died.
Oh my God, really?
Get over it.
Whoa.
Skip Plus is a fan of mine too, so that's what I'm talking about. That's the yin and yang of life, which makes me so excited and so happy. I know that you have a lot of people you feel that way about Skip Plus. I saw you wish happy birthday to our mutual friend Matthew Horowitz on social media the other day. And it delighted me because it was a show we did together where you talked about where he stepped in for How to Succeed in Business. Was it Bud Frump? I think he played Bud Frump. And he was a great Bud Frump. He was great. If anybody hasn't seen How to Succeed in Business, highly recommend it. It's one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. If you liked Mad Men, go watch it because it's basically the precursor for Mad Men. Even has the same guy in it. The star of it is the old man from Mad Men. He's a young boy, of course, because it was made in the 60s, but it's a great movie. A little bit of sexism, you got to get over that. But at least they're on the right side of it. They're saying the song is "A Secretary is not a toy." Mm-hmm. But they have the song because clearly they're being treated like toys.
Yeah. I remember having this whole conversation with you now.
Oh, did we already talk about it?
It's all coming back. Yeah.
I'm sorry if this is repeat material.
Not for them.
Okay.
Not for them.
Anyway, it's eye candy if you like set design and old wardrobe from the 60s and everything. It's really, really cool.
So good. Hey, you want to talk about your trip?
I do. Hey, Danny Botkin, DeLorean. Great to see you, man. When are you going to come back here, too? Love to see you. It's been a long time. Man, in the DeLorean days, Danny was like my best friend because I was down there all the time. And we were doing events and stuff together all the time. Danny Botkin, if you're in the DeLorean world, he needs no introduction. But for the rest of you, he runs. I don't know what he does now. He may just build Back to the Future cars now. I'm not sure. But he used to run DeLorean Motor Company, California.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. And DeLorean Motor Center, California before that. Whatever. There was a name change. Anyway, great guy. Universally loved, great guy. Jonathan Mirager, I love you. Watching as long as I can, Jay. I love you, sir. It's great to see you. So, what have you heard about the forest? Are they going to close? Are they going to close it? Are they going to extend it? The closure? Do you think? Because right now it sounds like it's midnight on Friday morning, which means we're good for Friday. But the info I've been gotten is that they may indeed extend it. We'll see if he's able to. Skip Loss says yes from earlier. We'll see. John Miraja there is a great friend from the U.S. Forest Service. He, I don't know what he does exactly up there, but he seems to run the Chileo camp.
Nice.
He's always been very, very good with Newcombs and then also with us at Good Vibes. And he's
Love
a
that.
great friend. Love Nicole and good dude.
It's where we all check our weather before driving up.
Yeah. Check your weather. And then just also, like, it's those guys who are the ones who are, helping when something does happen.
Yeah.
The search and
Emergency
rescue
response.
guys, obviously the cops and the fire department, but also the Forest Service. 'Cause
Well, they're the ones that are
everywhere.
there. Yeah.
Right.
They
we're
are
on
the
their
first
turf.
responders.
Exactly. We're on their turf.
Yeah, absolutely.
Forest awaits you. Wow. That's good news. That's good news. So we'll see what happens there. January 24th.
Okay.
So it still looks good for January 24th.
That's great.
Which would be great. It'd be nice to have a Friday up there. Only 2 weeks, and we were talking about this yesterday in the other room.
Yeah.
It's crazy how it throws your schedule. If you're used to every single Friday, like clockwork, you get this bouncing ball of life where this is the timeline.
Yeah. Even if you don't go up, it still exists. It's still this thing that's happening that you can put a marker to, and then either you have a decision to make, like, will I go, will I not go, or you go, and that's just it. So whatever it is, it's just in your world. It's in your existence.
I agree, because even if you don't go, it shows up. It takes over social media for a few hours on Friday afternoon.
At least for me, even if it doesn't take over social media, I am always aware that it's Friday and
your friends are on the hill.
Yeah, that I'm missing it, right? Like,
Yeah.
even
FOMO.
if it's
FOMO.
even if it's a day that I'm like, I want to go up, but like I just really don't have the capacity, because sometimes you just don't have the capacity to do the drive and the whole thing. Then you get a lot of FOMO. 'Cause then you're like, I'm not anywhere else.
No, you're right. If it's one of those days where you're like, I just don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
And then you don't. Yeah, you should always get out of bed.
You should definitely always get out of bed, especially for GVBC, because I'll tell you, at least for me personally, on those days where I'm like, I just don't think I can do it, I will spend the rest of the day in some form of a depressive state, and I will not be okay for the rest of the day. And I could have just gone up, taken a couple of hours, done the drive, fine, and then I would have had all of the happy hormones to make me happy and not make me sad. But instead,
How do you make a hormone? Hey-o!
Hey! I can tell you about that.
Nicole used to love that one. Some of the buttons I can't help but press because they would garner an automatic, totally predictable response. So I can't help but still push those buttons, and then they're not.
I think you can still do it.
Not the same. Not the same. It's
I
not
know,
the same when I go.
Obviously.
Oh, it has been extended. Uh-oh. All right. So
extended. Oh, yeah. We'd love to come back. Yeah.
What does he do? Well, what I mean is I don't know your rank. I know that you're in a department with hierarchy, so I don't know what your title is all I meant. John at Forest Service, thank you for everything you folks do, and please be safe. Amen. Thank you, Skip Ploss, for saying that. And Bill Crater's here. What's up? Yo.
Hello.
David Mangrum. Mangrum, not Magnum.
Oh, I get that you would flash by in your brain and put those together.
Phil last week said Magnum a number of times, but now I wonder if I misheard him. I think he said Magnum a bunch of times on the show last week. Anyway, I'm assuming this is Dave who moves things, right?
Oh.
King of Pasadena?
You know what? I've never known his last name.
Right, that was me also.
Shit.
I'm pretty sure that's
Sorry,
him.
Dave. We never did the last name thing.
Pretty
he was
sure.
on our, he was on, maybe he's going to say it. He was on Instagram.
I look forward to the lack of cell service and internet. Jonathan Roger, 100%. Okay. All right. So it looks good. It's still, I'll double check with you, obviously, before then. But it looks like we might be okay for Friday if they don't extend.
Great.
I think we might have lost Don Giller there, and that's okay if we did. What haven't we done from this card? All right. We haven't done the road trip, which was the point of the show, but I don't care if we don't get to it. It is what it is. GVBC and ACH, I feel like we've talked about that. We may have to talk about it some more, but I feel like we've done it.
I think
Right.
we did too.
Okay.
Can I not?
Okay. We may be better off than I
Close
thought
enough.
we were. I thought we were really running late here.
No, I mean, we're
A new producer.
it's
So we've kind of
almost-
talked about you. So is there anything you want to bring up as far as being a new producer?
You know, I don't know. There will be moments that I'm gonna drop little nuggets, and sometimes y'all don't like that. But you know, I'm here to make everyone a little bit more informed sometimes. So I'm gonna say things, and maybe you don't like me to say things, but that's who I am. I'm a sex educator. You know.
I would like to
And a
bring
health
this in that
coach.
she's here to be a different opinion than mine. So like, I like that. I like that you have a different opinion than mine and that you are different than me. I feel like that's why Nicole and I had a chemistry, was because while we were the perfect fit for each other, it's only because all of the parts were completely opposite.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
had nothing in common. Nothing. Other than our love. Did I tell you my wife died?
Pretty oh my God! Did she?
Every time.
Oh Jesus.
Every single time.
Yeah, I don't
Close
know, man.
enough.
Yeah, it's y'all. They will get to know me. They will get to know me.
Hooray, Dave. I know. Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna drop nuggets from time to time. You are one of the most opinionated people I know, and you don't mind expressing it. So that to me is another reason that you are here, to be
Yeah.
a different opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the world shifts and changes, and part of what my job is, whether I'm sex coaching or I'm an intimacy coordinator or anything like that, is to quite literally be on top of a lot of those things and to be sensitive to those things. So, you know, if there's a little nugget, if there's a little splice of education I can give someone or a splice of something, I'm going to do it. So,
And to like the weight thing, like, so she'll have her, Don says whatever he says, hey,
Yeah.
and how much did you, and he was joking, of course, by like
Sure.
doing the rundown. So then Ariel's like, well, for the people out there who might not know that he's joking, she then gives her part, saying, hey, you know, that's not really very polite. And then I am also free to say, well, there's got to be some middle ground here. Let's find it.
yeah.
And that's how this is going to go. And some days it'll be uncomfortable, and some days it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I feel like the show's always like that. Some days it's a little Andy Kaufman.
Well,
Yeah,
I've
Ariel
been here
is.
before.
That's a great one. We were trying to. I said she was. Oh, that's great. That is really, really great.
That's so cute.
So I wish you were here yesterday, Venkman71, because I said she was like, imagine Robin and Gary Delabate as one person,
Yeah.
which is Roz. You just described
That's
Roz. So that's
great.
really, really awesome. That was really awesome. I didn't watch Frasier, so that's not like in my front of hat. Like what? Sex educator. Yes. Sex
Yeah.
sounds good, whatever it is.
Sex sounds good, whatever it is. Yeah.
Says barf baby.
Well, there can be a lot of bad sex in the world, but I'm here to make it better because no one should ever have to have bad sex.
We felt that the show needed to further confuse the name Late Night Playset. We figured we'd add a little more sex to the show.
I mean, listen, if you know me, then it's a conversation that is
Doesn't-
often, it comes there.
It doesn't not come up.
It doesn't not come. Also, I was thinking about this actually the last GVBC because oftentimes, like, people will ask me questions up there, like, you know, we'll get into some conversations up there. And the reality is that there are not that many safe spaces that people can talk about sex or that people can ask their questions about sex. So when you have someone that's like right there, that's just casually in conversation with you, these things just very easily come up. And we're just kind of creating more spaces to normalize conversations.
Do you know who Barf Baby is by any chance?
No,
They say,
we don't get along.
yeah,
Sorry.
but I love her.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
I wonder who it is. Now
I
I'm
don't know.
curious. This is the type of stuff we'll be getting to the bottom of on the new Late Night Playset.
Well,
I'm your host, Jay Ryan.
I am a New Yorker also, so like, you know, sometimes I'm very like
I know that's the
Like-
funny thing
like
about
Nicole
you
was
is
too, like-
you're so hard to read because you are very pointed sometimes, but you're also generally pretty open at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just hard to tell that. She was not that way.
Yeah, yeah.
She was-
You always knew. Well, I always.
Even if
I
you
always,
didn't, she
I mean,
was
I knew her.
concrete in
Yeah.
whatever she felt and
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah, yeah.
It came from another place where it was resolute. she didn't care what you thought about it.
Yeah.
Decision
Yeah, I
made.
would say I need
Decision
a little more.
made.
I need a little more Nicole.
We all do. She trusted her gut. You know, Magnus always says, trust your gut. You know,
Yeah.
go with your instincts. People say, I feel like she helped me live that way better.
Yeah.
I'm definitely that way now, but I wasn't always. I would have the feeling. I would not follow the feeling. I would do the other thing.
Yeah.
And I would regret the decision.
Yeah.
Pretty much across the board. Happen every time. Pattern behavior.
Most of my decisions have been intuitive.
In
And
your adult
sometimes-
life or always?
In my, especially in like my 20s and 30s, but you know, sometimes your intuition can also be a little bit tricky. So you have to like really think about things and be like, is this my intuition or is this a fear-based thought? Like, what's actually the louder thing here and what's the quiet voice? Because your intuition is generally going to be a quiet voice, but the louder thing is the one that's like, make this decision, make that decision. So, yeah.
For you. Like that's what's going on. Your inner dialogue.
No, just like from working with people, from like coaching people and like health coaching and mindset coaching and things like that. So a lot of times your intuition is like this little quiet whisper that's like, hey, maybe you don't really want to do that. But the loud voice is like, yeah, no, you should definitely go do that. That sounds fucking chill, man. So a lot of times we're following that louder voice being like, oh no, I heard it. I feel like that's the thing.
What I'm taking from this is more not, I mean, what you're saying is interesting, but I'm taking more I'm fascinated with the difference in people's inner dialogue because I know what mine is.
Yeah.
And then I also, it was recently hipped to the fact that some people don't have one at all, which really blew my mind.
Yeah.
Because I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like what? So it all just happens out here? I can't imagine that because everything I do up here and then I go act in the real world afterwards.
Yeah.
So for overshare, I guess for me, both voices are me.
Yeah.
And one, it's basically, I attribute it to when you're the cartoons, when you're a kid, you get the devil on one side and the angel on the other side. And it seems like the devil is ego and the world saying, do that, whatever the louder
ego,
voice.
fear, all that.
And it seems like the angel or whatever is your higher self or whatever saying like, well, if you want to stay on the right path, that's not the move to make right now in this particular moment. And that seems to be the scales. Once I figured that out, it was like, oh, well, you only need to listen to one. Personally, in my own head, for however or reason why, don't know how any of this works, my higher self, or whatever, my conscience, the good one, calls me Jay Ryan.
Aww.
I talk back to it from me, myself.
Yeah.
But whatever the answer is, it's always blah, 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 Jay Ryan.
I love that.
Like, oh, blah, 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 that's the answer, Jay Ryan. And it's hilarious to me because that's how I know how to decide, that's how I know which one to listen to.
See, I'll talk to my internal voice sometimes, like, if she says something not good, like, oh, that was dumb or something, or like, I haven't done this in like probably 20 years, 15 years or something of like calling yourself stupid or talking down to yourself or like thinking negatively.
Yeah.
And this is what I tell clients too, like literally say your name out loud and just be like, Ariel, you're not stupid. You did a dumb thing. People do dumb shit all the time, but it doesn't make you the dumb person. And that's like, everyone finds their own way to do that. But
so you make them lock on to, it's the same thing. You're training them to do what somehow I'm inherently doing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll do it in my head too, but for some people that's just like too strange or they can't access it. So like saying the thing out loud and also using your own name tells your brain, there's studies on this, using your own name tells your brain that you are a friend and you inherently treat someone else better than yourself. And so it kind of like, it changes things. It just changes the approach and changes the reception of it. It's almost like a friend telling you. And like, it's really interesting. Brains are so fascinating. That's why I do what I do. I love brains and psychology and the ways that we trick ourselves for better or worse, Brains.
I should disappear. Not a comfortable fit. Again, likely generational. It's not you. It's not you. It's her. I think it's her this time because I'm with you 100%. But at the same time, she gets to be her. This is hilarious. I hope that friction does start because I love watching it.
I'm not here to have fights and cause friction. But, oftentimes stuff like this makes people uncomfortable, especially if you haven't dug into it before and you haven't had these conversations and this isn't the norm for you. It's very uncomfortable because change is uncomfortable.
Again, I think you're reading and writing a lot into this, which isn't there. Like, I've known that guy for 30 years.
Like, it may not be the case here. I'm just making it. It's inspired a statement
I
around
see.
change and discomfort
I
in these
see.
types of conversations.
I see.
I'm almost
People in
it's
general.
very rare that I'm gonna like see something and speak directly to someone in like in Instagram or comments or something like that. Like, usually just sparks a wider conversation and a wider point.
What's the takeaway?
Oh God, we just talked about so much
Respect.
stuff. Yeah, respect, absolutely.
I don't know.
Respect, and
But I don't feel he was not respecting. I feel like he was making a joke
No,
about the weight. It was a joke.
yeah, sure. And
okay.
and within jokes, like that's also like, some jokes are funny and some aren't. And women historically are always asked about their weight. So it's a thing to just be aware of when you're a man.
I don't think he's not aware of it. I think that was a joke. I think you're pretending he wasn't aware of it and then writing all this other stuff.
I'm not reading that much into that comment. Like I said, I will see things and it will inspire like, hey, by the way, just good information for you to know as a human being.
I'm fine either way. I'm just glad that you're back. Aw. That's so sweet. Good guy. All right, so LA road trip, or the big USA Grand Tour road trip. All right, I left Los Angeles, delayed. We were supposed to leave on a certain day, but then I've just talked about how reliable Yellow Car was. But Yellow Car had to go into the shop a couple times, and it was unpredictable things that just happened because it was time, like the plastic coolant bottle at 120-something thousand miles finally cracked. It's 20 years old. So, we had to go put a new one in. Only took a few minutes to do, but it delayed the trip.
You had three.
I was going to leave on a Saturday,
Yeah.
and they couldn't do it to the shop on Monday, so I think we left Monday afternoon or something like that. It was no big deal, but
Third time's a charm, 2 times a charm.
yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? The
It
Yellow
was-
Car's so great, and TLG is so great that it's like it's not worth getting upset over.
No. But it was a very interesting, energetic thing for you to like stop and start and stop and start.
Yeah, you think you're going to go. You get all that. It took so much to get the momentum going, to the motivation to like, all right, now we're going to do this. And then it's like, no, you're not. I'm like, but the train's in motion. Now you're going to stop it.
I
I'm going to
want
get it going again.
to.
Oh, my God.
I want to go.
And I did. And it was fine. And it made me stronger. But you're right. I didn't want to go through it. I feel like it was all part of it. It was like, all right, you're not even ready for this road trip. So why don't you just, give me another day to rest or whatever.
Mm-hmm. What was that first day like?
I don't remember. The truth is, most of the trip was overwritten by more of the trip in my memory. I'm so glad I took so much video and photos. And the truth is, I guess we should probably be going through them. And maybe the road trip show will become another day.
Yeah. Have it all prepped.
When Fanboy Mike, Canadian Mike, is here as well, maybe. But it was the first day is kind of just getting out of LA. That really is the goal the first day. And it was the same thing last time with Nicole. Can't remember why. Same thing happened where we weren't able to leave till a couple days later and later in the afternoon. Do you remember that? We kept showing up at the show. We were like, well, we haven't left yet, so we're doing another show.
Yes, we're here.
Yeah. For like a few weeks.
Yeah.
So the first day was just getting the hell out of LA. And then the second day, I remember both times because it was Breaking Bad related. The second day, I got to see my old buddy, friend of the show since the very, 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 very beginning, Tori Alonso. VDubber for life on Instagram, if you know him. And just an awesome soul, somebody who's been a friend for a long time, big supporter, great energy, also going through stuff. His dad had just passed away. He was living in Albuquerque now. He used to live on the East Coast, and he lives in Albuquerque now. He moved there because his dad was sick. Now his dad's passed away. So now he's got this life in Albuquerque, trying to figure things out. But he also collects, in addition to VWs, he collects Breaking Bad cars or Better Call Saul cars. He's got a few of them. And so we went to the Breaking Bad car wash in me in yellow car and him in the car he drives around Albuquerque in, which is Walter White's Aztec, as in like custom painted Aztec, just like the show, with the wheel missing, the hubcap missing and all that. And what I thought was so cool about it was I was like, how did you, that's the same plate? How did you get the plate? When he bought the car, whether he bought it from production or a company afterwards, I don't remember. But when he bought the car, he searched the vanity plate system in New Mexico to see if Walter White's plate was taken, and it wasn't. So he just registered it as a vanity plate, even though it's a random obscure number. So he has the actual Walter White mobile with the actual legitimate state plate on it.
So cool.
It's crazy. It's so
cool.
meta. And then
the
we
fact
drove
that
it.
No one else thought about that either to get that license plate.
Who would put it on a regular car? You would want.
Yeah,
you would
I
have to
guess
be. It would have to be the real one.
Yeah, it's just funny.
So then we took it to the Walter White car wash, where him and A1 car wash or whatever it was in the show. Have an A1 day. Hand this to your car care specialist, and we got the cars washed, and that was pretty cool. Or just his. We just got his washed. Only Dom washes our car.
Yeah.
But it was really, really fun. It was fun to be there. It was fun to see him and, to nerd out with him a little bit and to compare life. We both experienced a lot of life since we'd seen each other last. So it was really, really good. And then on from there, I can't really remember. I know that for the first time ever, I've driven cross country a few times, and for the first time ever, I didn't spend an entire day driving through Texas.
Oof.
Every time I've done it, it was always the first couple times I was visiting somebody in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So like low route. This time because I went to Albuquerque and I wanted to go see, I can't remember what it's called, but from Cars, it's what the animated movie Cars, it's what the gas station or whatever is modeled after.
That.
All the beautiful neon at night and stuff.
That was so cool.
So I wanted to go there, and I can't remember what part that is, but luckily it's up in the Panhandle. It's up in the northern part.
Oh,
so
great.
I was only in Texas for a short amount of time, and that
state
was great.
is
No offense to
so
Texas.
It's so big. It's overwhelmingly big.
It's the size.
You're driving
it's the
through.
size that's daunting.
Yeah.
The freeways are crazy too because they're all like 85 miles an hour,
Especially when you get in the desert.
and 11 lanes wide. But it's just you feel like you're going nowhere.
Yeah.
You're just driving and driving and driving, and it's generally 110 degrees and
a desert. You're just in the middle of nowhere.
And you can't do it unless you do like a 24-hour section. You can't do it in one day. It's 2 days. It's one full day and then another part of another day, or vice versa. It's just a lot.
It's a lot.
So this was nice to not have to do that. Lots of comments since I was here last. No, it's the presumptions. Yes, I agree. I felt it was presumptuous as well. I just got here. So glad you're back. Love the beard. Once we have a what's it called? Premio?
Patreon.
Once we have a Patreon, maybe we'll shave the beard on Patreon. You can pay money.
To vote.
Pay money to watch me shave this beard.
That's right. Special content, plus you get to vote.
We'll carve your name into it. Oh,
yeah.
Lord. Hilarious. Oh, Lord. Yes, you read entirely too much into that joke. Way, way too triggered.
Okay, let's calm
all right.
down. You're
Good night,
speaking
folks.
to a woman here.
Good night, folks. Hilarious. Hello, y'all. What's up, man?
Yeah, it's good
Great
to
to
see
see
him.
you.
It's always nice when he comes up the mountain.
It's always nice seeing him anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Billy's got a really great energy. Very
Yeah.
chill, which I like. God to see you.
Oh.
Radiator Springs, totally.
Oh, Radiator
But it's
Springs.
not. It's more specific than that. I just can't remember if it's Flo's or I really think it's Ramon's, the paint shop. I think. Again, it's an excuse to watch that movie again because I friggin' love Cars, and Nicole did too. We both love that trilogy. I think there's 3 of them.
Ramon's House of Body Art is a building and shop in Radiator Springs.
Well, yeah, no, we know that, but
Oh.
sorry, I can't remember the real gas station that I visited. I can't remember which building in Radiator Springs it inspired. It's either Flo's
okay.
or I think it might be Ramon's.
Got it.
Because all of the things in Radiator Springs are based on real places.
Yeah,
they're
let's
just
see if I
kind
can find it on
of they're
your
changed a little bit to fit the Cars world.
Yes.
And most of them, I think, are all on Route 66, which is kind of the premise for the movie.
That was earlier on in your trip, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, it was day 2.
Okay. See if I can find it.
Well, I'll be impressed if you do, because I'm already...
I mean, you got a show to run.
Yeah, not really. I feel like it's already off the rails. Damn, making me blush. No, you're just a good guy, dude. Good guy. Good guy. It's not a good guy. I like him.
He's
I like
a
him a
good
lot.
guy.
Michael Dolphin. Shave on camera. Yes, sir.
Here it
Michael
is.
Dolphin, I'm also so relieved that your home made it. I was really worried about you. Ramon did the paint shop. We know.
Ah.
We know.
Is it
Gallup.
Real life
Gallup, New Mexico. From the song. I think it's Gallup, New Mexico.
Feeling Lucky in Shamrock, Texas?
Shamrock, that's it.
Yep.
Shamrock, Texas.
You drop in.
You drop in, that's
you
it.
drop in Shamrock,
That's
Texas.
it, that's it. Do we have a picture of that?
We do. I mean, it's on my phone, but
Can you hold it up to your camera? Yeah, that's it.
there we go. What a great photo, too.
So I think that is Ramon's then from my memory.
Yeah. Let's see.
Which
another
is the paint shop. Boy, 15 minutes on figuring that out. V8 Cafe.
one. V8 Cafe. Is
Oh,
that
see,
the one that's at...
see, but I don't think so. I don't think it is
No,
the V8
I think
Cafe.
the V8 Cafe is what it's at Disney. It's definitely that at Disney. I know that. Woo. Okay.
Everyone
there's
is saying
only 3.
different things, and I'm the only one who's keeping it straight.
Yeah.
We know that there is a Cars Land at Disney. All of the buildings in the Cars...
Floss, Luigi's. I'm just looking at your hashtags now.
Anyone who's with me is with me, right? It's a growing pains. We're working it out. We're figuring it out. In the movie Cars, which is also represented in real life in Cars Land, there are a series of buildings. They are all based on real buildings in real places
Yes.
on Route 66 across the country.
Yes.
I was just trying to figure out which building the Shamrock, Texas, you drop in was in the Cars world.
Mm-hmm.
Fairly certain that it's Ramon's, which is also in Cars Land in Disney. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm Googling.
This is one of those where Jay's being a stickler because it's like, it does. By the
say
way,
it was the
none of
U.
this matters. None of it.
Yeah,
But we'll
that's
waste
on my-
time on it because I'm done talking about the road trip this episode. I think
Yeah.
we'll do it properly with pictures and everything. I didn't think it through.
The tower station at U Drop in Shamrock, Texas inspired the Art Deco exterior
Here we go.
and Tower of Ramon's Body Shop.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah, we did it.
I didn't care to be right. I just wanted to know what the answer
Yeah.
was. Yeah,
Fact
and I was
checker.
pretty
We got a
sure it
fact
was
checker
that.
now.
That's right. We have one finally.
I can
Show
Google
needed
things.
One. Show needed one.
We love a good fact check.
Yeah. Now that's a whole thing. I bet I've always wanted to do Route 66, so maybe I will do a road trip.
A Cars road trip.
Yeah, that hits the Cars locations with yellow car because it already looks like a car.
So cute.
Like we went to Pixar.
Yeah.
Yellow car and I went to Pixar on this trip,
Yeah.
and I put the
I
eyes
remember
in
seeing
the
with the-
in
yeah.
the window and everything.
Oh, I love that.
They love that too.
Well, maybe they can sponsor us then.
Pixar? That'd be great.
Yeah.
They could animate the whole show. We don't even need to come in. That'd be
Oh.
great. That'd be amazing.
No, I meant like you doing a Pixar a Cars
road
road trip with Yellow Car.
Oh, that's
Like that's a
interesting.
good little sponsorship. So if you're watching Pixar, let's talk.
What is your prescription medication, Darren? I love a good prescription medication from time to time. I'm also watching a lot of Larry Sanders. We watched a couple episodes last night over pizza, and he was always popping Excedrin. But if anybody in the office had a painkiller, he was always. I think at some point he gets addicted to painkillers.
That makes sense.
No, I know. I thought of you when you mentioned Neon. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I love it all. I love the art direction from that movie.
Mm-hmm. So
It's
good.
I maintain it's one of the best car movies of all time, even though there are no real cars in it.
Yeah.
Because they did such a good job of representing all of the real cars and car physics and how things work and why they're that way and driving on dirt and all that. It's pretty cool.
I gotta go watch that again. It's been too
So
long.
good. It's such a good movie. And they're all pretty good. The first one's just
So
the first one I saw where Route 66 starts in Chicago and saw it in Sedona.
nice.
That's nice. I think technically it ends at the pier out here, Santa Monica Pier, I think.
I think so. Yeah. Probably. Yeah. Fact checking.
She's gonna fact check. All right, so we'll talk about the rest of the road trip properly another time. But
Yeah,
shout
we'll
out to
do
VW
photos
for
and
Life,
everything.
who I love very, very much. And
Yeah,
please,
66
when
minutes.
this episode goes up, if you watch it not live, if you're watching this after the fact, please still type in the comments any suggestions or ideas you may have for the show. We have some ideas for segments where it would be kind of like a call-in show. And if you have any bad news you want to break, like you are breaking up with your roommate and you're moving out, or you're breaking up with your relationship, gee whiz, we didn't think about that.
Yep.
Or anything like that. It doesn't need to be bad news, but hard news. And if you've got a phone call you don't want to make, I want to make it for you. We haven't come up with a name or a segment yet, but I know it's something we're going to do in the future.
I love that.
Handling the tough business here from the desk.
Jay
Jay
does
Ryan.
hard things.
That's right.
For you.
That's right. And I'll be sure to shave the beard before then, so I have a little more credibility when I'm talking to these people. Although I guess they can't see me on the phone anyway.
Yeah, they can't see you on the phone. They don't know.
I don't
I
understand
do have
technology.
the answer for you.
Okay.
Route 66 begins in the intersection of Adams Street and Michigan Avenue in downtown Chicago, Illinois, and it ends at the Santa Monica Pier.
There you go. So all right, there you go. I've been on it a lot, kind of like
Yeah.
Darren's saying in a couple
Oh, yeah.
places. Last year, Nicole and I stayed at the Wigwam, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
the inspiration for the Cozy Cone Motel.
Cute. That would be an adorable road trip.
Yeah, it'd be fun, right? And it's a little shorter than 10 weeks.
Yeah.
I
Just
could
a
do that
little
one
bit.
do that one in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Cars and Cars 3 were great. Cars 2, eh. See, now, I know what you're saying there, and I hear you. I really, really do. It was Mater's movie. You got to go into it knowing that this is Mater's movie. Oh, look. We have the...
It's happening.
It got chilly in the studio. It's see, I'm already warm. Like, I would like it a
I
degree
mean, I was warm
cooler.
for a little while, but I thought, I'm a little chilly. We're getting near potentially the end, or maybe we're going to go on for hours. I don't know. Who knows? Anything happens.
Anyway, it's Mater's
Yeah.
movie, and if you know that going in, I really enjoy it. Cars 2 is... God, it's tough. I agree with everything you're saying. Cars 1 and 3 are probably better movies, but Cars 2 has a lot of good stuff in it. And good comedy, too. There's some good Larry the Cable Guy comedy in it. I wasn't a fan of Larry the Cable Guy until the Cars movies, and now I am. Because he's Mater.
Yeah.
And Mater is just Larry the Cable Guy.
Where did he start? Did he just start on, oh God, what was that guy's name? Jeff?
Yeah, you got it.
Jeff.
Keep going.
Ooh, Redneck Jeff.
Yep.
Ooh, what's his name? Jeff.
You might be smarter than a 5th grader.
Oh God, I have no idea what that guy's last name is.
Let me know when you want it.
Give me a clue.
It's an animal that runs through your yard sometimes. Looks like
Deer?
a dog. Nope.
Bunny? Rabbit?
Keep going. You'll get there.
An animal that runs through your backyard. Well, there's a cat, there's a dog, there's a deer, there's a bear, there's a rabbit, there's
What looks like a
moose,
dog but isn't a dog?
Coyote,
Keep going.
hyena.
I'm pretty sure it's in the canine family.
Really? What else is
You're skipping one. I used to see them all the time on the East Coast. Maybe they're less
East
out
Coast. And it looks like a dog. Wolf?
here. Smaller.
I am blanking.
I see that. It's all right.
It's a small dog? Chihuahua? No.
Let's just get to the bottom of it. Jeff Foxworthy. We're looking for Jeff Foxworthy. Is who we're looking for here.
Oh, they're like, what are they? I think it might be in the weasel family or something. Anyway,
No, they're not a rodent. I'm
They're
pretty
not a
sure they're in
rodent,
the
you're
canine
right.
family. I mean, they could be a rodent, but I don't
I'm gonna
think so.
find out.
Gumball Rally, so much shot on the 2. Thoughts? Is that true?
Oh.
I love Gumball Rally, and in fact, it was our most recent guest, Phil Morris, who turned me on to it. I had seen it years and years ago, but I hadn't seen it in my adult life recently. And a couple years ago, he turned me on to it, and it is now one of my favorite movies to just throw on in the background, like Gone in 60 Seconds, the original, or Bullet, or any of those. Le Mans. I have to watch this again. I didn't realize it was shot on the 2. There's a lot of Herbie the Love Bug is shot on the 2 and Forest Highway and Paramount Ranch. And it's funny watching any of the TV shows I grew up with now living out here, because I grew up with Hazard County, Dukes of Hazzard or Knight Rider or Airwolf or any of the shows from the 90s, 80s. Excuse me, the 80s. It's very strange driving around, say, Malibu, and noticing stuff from the show.
Yeah.
Or I guess it probably happens in the other order now. Nowadays, you watch the show back
Yeah.
that you haven't seen since you were a kid, and then you go, oh, holy
Oh.
shit, that's
I
Canaan
know.
Dune Road, or oh, that's Mulholland Highway, or whatever. And it's pretty crazy because they just did what you would do now. They just shut the road and
Yeah.
shot.
Same thing. Same, but different.
So I don't know if I knew that. I'm going to have to, it's an excuse to watch that again too. So
Yeah.
Cars and Gumball Rally. And we should probably, yes, we knew what it was. Foxworthy. And then the movie was totally ripped off by Cannonball Run. Well, yeah, so they all were. And I didn't know that until my adult life either. That all of those movies that we grew up with, like Smokey and the Bandit and Cannonball Run, they were all parodies of existing movies, like the Gumball Rally and Smokey and the Bandit. We just watched was Convoy with Chris Christopherson and Ali
Sheedy?
McGraw.
What year was Gumball Run?
Gumball Rally was probably 79, I would guess, or 70,
okay.
75 maybe.
Oh, hell yeah. I want to see that. Billy added some good facts to the chat.
If your wife has ever said, come move this engine so I can take a bath, you might be a redneck. That's very funny. That's funny. If your television is on top of another television, you might be a redneck. Yeah.
It was funny.
The original terminus of US Route 66 was at 7th and Broadway. See, this I remember. However, over the years
and decades, Route 66 has had several, quote, official and, quote, unofficial ending points.
Love it.
Then he adds, since this locale can be disappointing after the long journey from Chicago, the Route 66 Alliance unofficial, quote, end of the trail sign is on the pier, seen below in 2020.
Yeah. I agree with that it's more of like a PR move that it's now
sure.
at the pier. The first thing I remember seeing, since we're in this world, is it was greenlit and made as Cannonball Run 3, but it got released as a Canadian movie called Speed Zone that may or may not have been direct-to-video. It's in 4:3 like TV format whenever you watch it. I've never, ever been able to find it in widescreen. But anyway, it's called Speed Zone, and it's the Cannonball Run series, and it's the third one. But like John Candy's in it, Eugene Levy's in it, lots of people are in it. Joe Flaherty. No, I'm realizing it's all like Saturday Night Live and SCTV people.
That sounds solid.
As well as people from the original movie. Tim Matheson's in it, Jamie Farr. Anyway, that one ends at the Santa Monica Pier.
Yeah.
In the movie.
That's great. And that's where you wanted to end.
In the first movie, it was Hermosa. Or Redondo Beach, down at Cafe Portofino.
Oh,
Hotel
nice.
Portofino.
Okay, yeah.
That's where it was in the movie, and I think it's where it was in real life, too. I know we've said this before, but I have a lot of love for the Cannonball Run because it's like, it's the first Cars thing I can remember in my life.
Yeah.
Going to, I guess it would have been the night before the Cannonball Run left Connecticut in 1979 or whatever. My dad was carrying me around.
Wow, that's so cute.
But I remember the smells because all the fuel and stuff and oil and stuff, and all of the cars were all up on on their lifts and jacks and stuff, and all of the lights. And it was behind a shopping center because they were hiding from the public, the cops. Yeah, I guess probably. Come to think of it,
all of it.
The cops. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Not wanting to call too much attention to themselves.
No, but I would have been like 2 years old. I mean, my
Yeah.
dad was literally carrying me. And funny thing is, most of my car memories are like that. One was from the Danbury Fair, like meeting Paul Newman or seeing Paul Newman.
Yeah.
And his race car, the Planters Peanut race car, was at the Danbury Fair. My dad was carrying me.
Yeah, you've got a lot of sweet stories of your dad carrying you around to places like that.
You know what it is? I only have so many memories of my dad because he died when I was a kid. Yeah. So they're all memories from that time, and I kept them all.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? They haven't been rewritten. Because I had to think about this. Like, why do you have so many childhood memories? Why do you remember fishing with your dad and all the crazy stuff? Like, oh, well, they were all in a condensed time.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dad. R.I.P. 1996. Dad. Love you, miss you. Actually, it's weird. Like Nicole's energy, I feel like he's been around more since she died.
Yeah.
Because the parallels of my life of a big loss and all
so
that.
much. Yeah. I love that.
Since this locale. Oh, you already did.
Yeah, I read that.
Love it. Whew. My desk is clean. I feel like we can go.
Yeah.
This has been very interesting and fun for me. It flew by versus when I'm just here talking to myself. Road trip, we'll do that a little better another time. We started it. Yeah. New producer, I feel like we got into that pretty well. Sponsors. Mm-hmm. Let me say something about sponsors. We are now open to them. In the old days, we had a couple that were very helpful and they were very nice, but I feel like we were all in it just to support each other. Versus now, like we actually have some viewership now, and can probably give you something for your money, some value, some worth. So we're open to sponsorships. Ariel's going to help us get a Patreon going, and I think probably Devin can help with some of that stuff as well. But if you've got a business or an event or whatever the heck, if you want to sponsor the show for any reason, short-term, long-term, know that we are now open to it. We are putting effort into this again. We're going to make it something good. Yeah, I don't know. Send us a message. We'll figure it out. We'll put something together. The mixer. We have a new mixer because the one we had just crapped out. just it is what it is. It happened. It's left on pretty much all the time, so whatever, it just died. We need $600 if somebody wants to sponsor a new mixer. This is a loaner, but I have the one that I want to buy. Or $500 would probably, with $600 with tax and everything, $600. And if somebody wants to do that, we will take it. I'm not, you know what I mean? We'll take it. Yeah. Send me a message.
We're asking for it.
And I think that's it, right?
Yeah, I think there was one thing under the sponsors. Let me get back to what was that last thing? What's the last line say? Oh, just good night.
Yeah, well, I would get to that. That's
okay. No, then we're good.
Unless you want to say, you should say good night. You say good night.
Good night.
Next week, the intention is to come back with a real guest. Although we never really did the road trip show, but I think a real guest will be here next week. We haven't booked one, but there's a lot of people who want to come in. So, and that's another thing. Send us a comment for future guests you would like to see in here. Historically speaking, we kind of just go to our friends pool, or when somebody reaches out to us, we have a producer now who can help book guests. And historically, whenever we've reached out, you've had good suggestions that have turned into good shows. So let us know. That's it. Any suggestions? Anything to make this fucking thing better.
We're open. We're going to co-create something.
Check in on Instagram on Thursday to see what the post is for Friday at Breakfast Club. If there is or is not going to be one. If the forest is open, see you there. If it gets extended, the closure, then Sunday at Scott's in Malibu is the plan. Love everybody. Please love one another. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being with us. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Love you. Have a great night.
Love you.
Please love one another. See you out there. This one. Nope.
There it is.
I'm rusty.